And my point is that we are going from being degenerative into being more regenerative. So we have to learn how to work with our energy. So that's why I decided to name the book Energetic Leadership. That is what it's all about, energy and how we are improving our own energy, but also the energy we have in relationships with others, personally or in a corporation.
Mm. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Gitte. Because I love what you said about leadership. It's really, it truly is about that individual understanding and how you can use your influence as an individual to bring people together to actually understand what the shared goals are and how you use
Yes,
your influence to help them to achieve the different outcomes. And I love the way you are now talking about how there is a need to understand the energy of the person as well as the energy of the leader, because a person has so many different roles. You could be a mother, but you could be a leader in another way. So it's about understanding your energy and your energy as a leader specifically, and how you use that to really bring together the energy of others to work towards their shared goals. So I would love to know why you think this is so important. I resonate with it, and I'm so glad you're working on it. I'm so glad you've written a book on it. I would love to know your perspective on the importance of really
yes.
understanding the impact of energy in terms of
Mm.
leadership. Welcome to the Daily Soul Bytes Show, Season 3. I am your host, Bola Abimbola, frequency alchemist, spiritual teacher, life coach, and energy practitioner, and the host of Daily Soul Bytes Show. Welcome to this episode, Season 3. Daily Soul Bytes Show is really about interviewing guest authors, coaches, and entrepreneurs from the fields of spirituality, psychology, and leadership to share their insights for the expansion of collective consciousness. And today I have a very, very special guest, Gitte Madelaire, all the way from Denmark, though you are in Chicago at the moment, I understand, Gitte.
Yes, that's true. I'm
Thank
visiting
you.
my son here in Chicago, but I live
Thanks.
in Denmark.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yes, I'm a mother as well. I know the feeling, Gitte. I know the feeling. And I will read a bit about your bio before we start. Gitte
Mhm.
Madelaire is an intuitive and visionary pioneer in leadership development. People, customers, business development, and futurism have always interested and motivated her. That we succeed individually and together, that we are better tomorrow than today, with a background in corporate business at companies such as Fona, HMW, Codan Insurance, Volvo Trucks, and Ensure Insurance Broker. She now inspires new leadership through her book, Energetic Leadership, keynotes, facilitation, and mentoring for leaders in her company, Energetic Leadership. Beautiful. Thank you for joining me again, Gitte. So tell us what is energetic leadership?
Yes, what is energetic leadership? I have sort of chosen to put these two words together. Leadership, that we know all about leadership in many ways. So it could be leading yourself or leading others. But energetic leadership is, I have a definition in the book, consciously leading yourself and others with energy and intuition as a starting and focal point. So I'm taking, leadership, and I'm adding the experiences of energy. So energy frequencies, not oil and gas, that's also energy in that sense, but energy frequencies. And you were also talking about the consciousness in your introduction. So how can we develop, enhance our own consciousness, and how do we do it? You could say that we have always been able to do our energetic leadership, but have we done it in a successful way, or could we improve it? And my point is that we are going from being degenerative into being more regenerative. So we have to learn how to work with our energy. So that's why I decided to name the book Energetic Leadership. That is what it's all about, energy and how we are improving our own energy, but also the energy we have in relationships with others, personally or in a corporation.
Mm. I love that. I love that. Thank you, Gitte. Because I love what you said about leadership. It's really, it truly is about that individual understanding and how you can use your influence as an individual to bring people together to actually understand what the shared goals are and how you use
Yes,
your influence to help them to achieve the different outcomes. And I love the way you are now talking about how there is a need to understand the energy of the person as well as the energy of the leader, because a person has so many different roles. You could be a mother, but you could be a leader in another way. So it's about understanding your energy and your energy as a leader specifically, and how you use that to really bring together the energy of others to work towards their shared goals. So I would love to know why you think this is so important. I resonate with it, and I'm so glad you're working on it. I'm so glad you've written a book on it. I would love to know your perspective on the importance of really
yes,
understanding the impact of energy in terms of
mm,
leadership.
yeah. I would like to start by just reading the subtitle because it says a bit of it. And the subtitle is When Modern Life Design Collides with Old Leadership Habits, it is time to tap into intuition and unleash our energetic sense of the future. So, so and in your introduction also you said that I'm interested in futurism, or futurism being what are the trends we are seeing, when we look out the window ahead of us,
Mm.
what do we see both as individuals but also as leaders, and not all leaders are aware of what they see, or they don't look out the window, or they don't understand what's ahead of them. So what we are seeing right now is is you can say a collision of humans wanting to draw back their own energy and their, you could also say, control of own lives, so that we can build and create, design our lives the way that is suitable for a human, in order not to be sick or not thrive either personally or in a corporation. The leadership habits that we are coming from, they don't fit with what is happening right now. So it's for me, it's a evolution thing. I'm not blaming or pointing at anyone that's this is your fault or whatever. I think that evolution is coming to a place where now the humans are disrupting what is going on for their own benefit, our own benefits, because we are actually sick, stressed, or sick in many ways, but also that our environment and our earth is not thriving. So we have to do something differently. So that is why it's very much about what is it the trends are telling us.
Mhm.
How are we as humans, how are we thriving, but also how will we be able to build organizations in the future, or from now on, or we are already in a way of doing it, but organizations that are fitted for humans. So it's not that you see a lot of signs of it, like great resignations or quiet or loud quitting, that people get fed up with the workplace they are in, or so. But it's not that humans don't want to work. It's just that we want to work in a way that is joyful and also healthy for us. You could say technology is helping us a great deal. Now you and me, we are sitting here talking to each other, and it's wonderful, and it's with the help of technology. So in that sense, technology is helping our consciousness to widen up. But we're also seeing ourselves sitting with maybe being too much on the screen or phone or whatever. So we have to find a balance in this new world of technology also. But it's a big question. So there's many ways to answer it.
I love what you said about evolution. Thank you so much, Gitte. It is a trend. I think we're learning more about how we are energy beings. We're learning more about how it's not all about what we see. There's a lot of there's a bigger part of us that is in spirit, and it's important for us, even as we are working in this very illusionary matrix, to come to understand how we can begin to understand our own self, that is the energy being. There is a need for us to understand the expansiveness of it, the unlimited, very unlimited aspect of it, because this is really how we can feel less less pressure. We can begin to understand how we are infinite parts of infinite creation. We are prime creators. And there are things we have that are only concerning ourselves, and there are things we have that we have come to do as a calling. And when we join hands with others in a way that is not meant to depreciate another, it's not meant to take advantage of another, because a lot of the times the reasons why we don't get along, or reasons why we have conflict, is because we think we live in a world of lack as opposed to a world of abundance. And when we begin to understand the different perspectives of us as energy beings, we will understand that we are abundant. Our energy, our essence is abundance. We can only think we're abundant. We can have a belief that we're abundant, that we do not have abundance. But we are truly abundant at our core. So it's all about perceptions. And, there is no right or wrong, I always say, because some of us have come to this earth plane to live a life of lack. And some of us have come to live a life of abundance. And I think the way you were delving into that energetic leadership, and allowing leaders to use that understanding of self as an energy being, that is what I'm understanding that you're doing. You're wanting leaders to understand that they are not just physical body consciousness, and they're not just about, it's not just about the brain or about IQ, and it's not only about emotional intelligence. It's really about delving into the essence of who we truly are. And I'd love us to go more into this. I'd love us to talk a lot more about what exactly would an energetic leader be doing differently than the bog standard leaders who really are doing a part. I think leadership is key. That's one of the reasons why it's one of the prongs that we focus on the show. It's, whatever we have to do, we are doing it as a team. No one is an island. And there's so many things that we do alone, and there's some things that we have to collaborate with others to do. And somebody has to drive that. And how that is driven in a way that is expansive as opposed to constrictive is so key. So I would love us to go a little bit about how your work or your training really supports the energetic leader, and how that energetic leader now becomes different, and what you would recommend an energetic leader to do or to be an energetic leader, to be that leader that is the leader of the future.
Yes. in the book, I divided it into, I'm talking about these trends and energy and learning methods, because it's also very much to do with that we have been told that you can only learn by, going to the university or school or whatever. But so enhancing our knowledge about senses. So how do we listen? How do we see? How do we feel? And how do we also get in contact with, I call it the soul. It could be hardcore, whatever, but it's that way of connecting to your bigger self. And in the book, and also in my workshops, or it could be also, keynotes or whatever I do with leaders, organizations. I always try and put in some exercises on how to do that. How do you become an energetic leader, or how can I help energetic leadership? Foremost, it is for leaders to be more curious, authentic curiosity for what is ahead of them. When I think about leaders, it should be leaders that also have decisions to make in corporations, but because we're all leaders in our own, but if you have to take decisions for others, you must be aware of how does it look like. And the whole energetic spirituality evolution is, if you see what's happening in generations ahead, they are becoming much more spiritual. So leaders must be aware of that. But coming back to what can an interested leader or a person coming to me, what can they do? And in the book, I've divided it into different areas, and I also taken it into how they can apply it in different fields, if they are like in HR, or they are in purchasing, or in finance. But for a person, it would be to be quiet, to simply try and calm down. I call it, I have a whole chapter on the nervous system. So just being still, being able to be still, to just, turn off whatever you have on and just be still, whether it's inside or outside. For some people, it's very, nature is very useful. But as soon as you get more and more present, and you are able to calm down your inner self, you might not have so much, you can be very present even without being in nature. For some people, it's very useful to be in nature, to get that alignment, if you could say so. Then I talk very much about how you can call back your energy. So, and neutralizing your senses. So like before I came on here on your show, I was just sitting with myself for a little while and resetting my energy. So been doing other things, and now I want to focus on Bola and our talk. Not in my head doing a lot of things, I want to, checking and whatever. No, just collecting my own energy and resetting it. So it's present and it's focused. And as a leader in a job, we talk a lot about breaks. You should have breaks in your working day. You can do that anywhere. You don't have to sit and have closed eyes and sit in a yin yang position or whatever. You can do energy work anywhere. Just on your chair, if you have a job if you're a truck driver, you can do it while you're driving. So and then on it depends on how you could say advanced or interested you are. Yeah, there are different other ways to work with it, because your body is telling you a lot. So as soon as you get calmer, and you will notice when, oh, my body's actually telling me something. There's this tension in my left shoulder, and when you get more into, we have energies, the masculine energy, the feminine energy, not that it's talking about sex, man and woman, but more than energy, and there's the more reflective feminine energy, and how your body is actually talking to you. So, and if you're even more interested, I have a chapter, and I always also say that we are all individuals, channeling in our own ways, but we might not know it. And so I think we are also here to learn about how to open that, you could say, channel, our own channel. So there's a lot of potential to release, which is in a world with a lot of crisis and whatever goes on. I find that that when I do keynotes or workshops, because I come with this sort of the different way into how can we look at the future with a more optimistic view on, there's so much potential that we have not released. And that is something that business world and the corporate world, they can understand, potential. Ooh, potential not released. Wow, what is that? Is that business? Yes, we can actually do business in different, totally different way. So
I love that. I love that. Honestly, this is really news to my ears.
that's good.
Because really, what the things you're saying about really being curious, being aware of the trend, being present, being mindful of the thoughts, and being present is an unknown. Because I talk about this in my book, Daily Soul Bytes. This is talking about the different perspectives that we hold within us. We, whatever aspect of life, whether it's relationships, whether it's intimacy, there are different thoughts we will hold that are high in terms of, that resonate with unconditional love, or they may be low, resonating with fear. And really, it's about becoming aware of the different perspectives within us, because whatever we focus on is what will expand. And as a leader, you're beginning to understand what perspectives you hold, what judgments you hold. Because when you want to be present, that place that is unknown is a place of no judgment, is a place where you have your infinite possibilities, infinite ideas, infinite wisdom is lying in that place of presence, that place of no judgment. And we sometimes have to go from negative to positive before, when we go to and fro, before we get to that center where we are now having no judgment, we're present, we're not actually thinking of the future or the past, and we're focusing on the now. And this is really a powerful place to be, because when we deal with people and each other without judgment, there is such an expansiveness, in what we can achieve together. So I love that, you mentioning that being present is key. And there's so many different modalities, you don't always have to sit still to actually be present. There are so many different modalities, and there's a lot of trial and error that we always have to do before we find something that really resonates with us. But having the rituals, having the habits, and I love it when you said that you did do a little bit of a practice to still yourself. So I've been stacking myself energetically all day. This is so important. Breath work. I love breath work. I love mantras. I love my crystals. there's so many things that we have, that there's so many different billions of modalities. It could be a quick meditative um,
Mm.
thing. It could be a self Reiki session. You know, there's so many different modalities that we have that allow us to release that tension, release those lower perspectives within us,
Mm.
because we all have them. And it's about layers. Nobody gets anywhere without, it's not like we get someplace where we no longer have any lower perspectives, but we find it easier to align to more higher or positive or neutral perspectives, as opposed to staying in that place where we feel we are in competition um,
Yes,
with others. So that's
and
that's a
also
really powerful place.
yes, and the now you're saying competition, and especially corporate or business world, it's very much about competition. If we look at it the tribal way, as I call it, compared to the more planetary way. Um, but another thing that is so important in this whole energetic leadership is also that you have your own way. You have to find your own way. We can have a toolbox of lots of modalities and different tools and no, in the old days I would look at you and say, okay, how are Bola doing? I have to copy her 100%. No, this is not. We can talk about the tools and we can be mentors and we can help each other, but what is important for me to do today is not necessarily the same as you are doing, and so forth. So
And
for
that's
me,
okay. That's how it
yeah,
is, because we are
yeah,
unique. Yes,
yes.
yes.
So we're all unique. So like we are 8 million or billions on Earth. I keep saying that 8 billion ways of doing
Yeah.
your energetic
True.
leadership, and the days are have different vibes, and you have this different situations, but we have to learn and relearn what we have once been able to do that we have forgotten.
Yes. So true. So true.
Yeah,
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Gitte. And where can people find your book?
they can find my book, Energetic Leadership, on anywhere where they buy their books, but it could be Amazon.com, to just to mention one place. But if they're into audiobooks, they can also get the audiobook at kobo.com. It's kobo.com. And it's actually very innovative. The audiobook is with my cloned voice. So I'm combining technology with energetic leadership.
Beautiful.
And then they can go to my website, which is www.energeticleadership.eu for Europe, EU. Yes.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And do you have any final words before we go today?
I want to thank you very much, Bola, for reaching out. And it's there's this thing about energetic leadership that instantly, oh, this is a good connection because the energy is there already. Even before we meet, online like now, but also just the reply and yeah, it's wonderful. And that is something that I would like to be the last message, is that uh, you who are listening, you can actually feel when you have the energy flowing the way that is good for you. It's when you feel connected to the person or the relation, even if it's someone that you don't know before, you can feel a calmness. And if you feel the opposite, maybe you should think about how to go about it otherwise, in other ways or something. So I'm just very grateful, and I'm grateful for your job, because everything, combines us to create this better world together. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Gitte. Thank you so much. And I resonate. I understand what you mean as well. There is something about your energy speaking, the energy we have within, the way we have cultivated it, the frequency we are vibrating at, speaks before we say a word. It actually moves, and it ripples, and it releases resistance within others,
Yes,
even without us saying a word. So this
yes,
is really powerful, that and it takes a lot of cultivation, and it takes a lot of love, because I don't think that we can achieve anything by force. It's
yes,
it's it's got to be through unconditional love. And it may not be something that is resonating with a lot of leaders and business in the corporate world. But I love the way you are. Gitte Madelaire is paving the way, for more energetic focus, the need to go within and release those resistance using energetic modalities that help us to expand that consciousness within us and understand, and expand not just the actual essence, but have an understanding of what energy is all about, and
mm,
how it can play a part in the way we live life and the way we lead. So I love that you are doing this, and I do want to encourage the audience to get a copy of Energetic Leadership by Gitte Madelaire, available anywhere books are sold, and also a copy of Daily Soul Bytes, my book, which is also about looking at understanding the different perspectives within us, so we can be more, be quicker to align, because we only align to what we are familiar with. And the more
mm.
familiar we are with the perspectives within us, the more we are wanting to align to what it is will give us our best outcomes. So thank you for joining me today, Gitte.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Bola. Thank you.
Yes. And once again, I thank the audience, and I do thank you for joining me today. And I invite you to join us for the next episode of the Daily Soul Bytes Show. Bye bye.